Hello, gorgeous beings of light. This is Elmara coming to you today with a spectacular miracle that's been going on for more than 30 years. Take a big breath in for me, please. Letting out everything that's outside this moment. Another big breath in. Activating the God, Goddess within you. The highest part of you that knows the answers to everything. And it would be helpful if you continue to breathe deeply into your being and staying open to what it is I'm about to share with you in case you need this for your own life. Okay, so this miracle started around 30 odd years ago. I had stayed late at work because someone was leaving and they were having drinks or something, I don't know. I haven't drank for decades, so I wouldn't have been drinking, but I might have been just celebrating with them and helping them with their journey onwards. But I missed my last bus home, which was at 5:30, and since I only lived a couple of kilometres out of the city, I decided that I was going to walk home. So I start my journey. It's getting darker and darker because I sense it's around June, July. And I'm about a kilometre from home. And it's not like this now. But 30 odd years ago, up past the Transit Centre in Brisbane, it was really, really dark and gloomy, and there was no street lights, and there was old railway lines there, and spooky, spooky, spooky. Anyway, I'm walking home, having a fabulous time, when I spot that there's someone up above me. But what I noticed most about them, it was a male, and he was losing ground on me. Now I'm 5'1.5" high. Nobody ever loses ground on me. People come walking past me and then they disappear out of sight before I even got to where they're going, because I got little legs. Anyway, so I am walking and this man is getting closer to me, even though he's in front of me. And I notice that he turns around to look at me and he slows his pace down and he's getting closer and closer to me in this dark part of the town where there's not many cars going past. I'm sure it's not like that now, but it was 30 odd years ago. All of a sudden, I realise when he's looked again that this man has not got very good intentions. So I just say to my high guidance team, which is how I've always lived my life, hey God, can you get your butt down here and help me? I think I'm in a bit of trouble here. I remember clearly feeling the light come down and just surround me, and I felt safe and okay, and just kept walking. The next thing, when the guy turns around, he turns around once, but he takes a double take and he turns around, and then crosses over a little street that takes you down onto the freeway. And then he steps into, and he's on the veranda of a house that's to the left of me. And I walk past, and he's just staring at me. He's staring at me, and I don't know why he's staring at me. But I keep walking, and from my martial arts training 10 years earlier, I knew that it was really important not to look back and to hold your energy presence strong. So I walk past, look at him and glare at him, and then just keep, and he's like, his mouth's wide open, and I don't know what's going on, but just keep walking past, going, I look at him and I glare at him and I go, if you come fucking near me, I'll kill you, you know. And then I keep walking, and I keep walking, and I just keep going, God, please just get me to Caxton Street. God, please just get me to Caxton Street. God, please just get me to Caxton Street. If you're from Brisbane, you'll know what this is, but Caxton Street is where there's a pub and there's restaurants and it's all lit up like a Christmas tree. I get to Caxton Street, I'm perfectly fine, and then I'm like half a kilometre, if that, from home, and I get home safely and just go, thank you, God, thank you, thank you, thank you. The miracle part of this story comes when the very next day, one of the younger people on the floor, like in their 20s, come running over and going, oh, Oh, get Elle. Who was that gorgeous man? Gorgeous men you were walking home with last night. I mean, I don't be ridiculous. I wasn't home with you. Yes, you were. There was two gorgeous men, and walking either side of you, very tall. You look very short amongst them. I went, no, I'm sorry. You must have had me mixed up with somebody else, and I just leave it. But a week or so later, I bump into another young girl onto the floor, and she says to me, "Gosh, Elle, who were those gorgeous men you were walking home with the other night?" I said, "I've heard this story before." And I said, "What day was this?" And she notes the day and she remembers it because it was her 18th birthday party and they were going to the Hog's Breath Cafe, which was just like 100 yards or 100 metres up from the Caxton Street Hotel. And I go, "Oh my God, I've heard this before." She goes, "Yeah, they were just gorgeous, big, blue-eyed, dark-haired men. They were just stunning." And I went, "I can't help you because to my knowledge, I was just walking home." Anyway, I get home, go into meditation that day and say, "What was this?" And they say, "Yes, you have two blue-eyed twin angels who will always, always take care of you." And I'm like, "Yappa dabba do." I went, "Obviously they're good looking with blue eyes and dark hair." And they went, "Obviously they're good looking with blue eyes and dark hair." And so began my journey with these beings who I don't have much to do with, except they show up when I need their help. Sometimes they show up and I haven't even asked for their help. Well, that day I just asked God for help and he sent these angels along. But there was another time, there's been numerous times, but there was another time that I was going with one of my students in Melbourne to have dinner I think she was taking me for my birthday or I was taking her for hers. It's called the Rainbow Cafe, really great food. It was vegan and although I'm not specifically a vegan, I do like lots of vegan food or whatever. And so we pull up, I'd asked for a park right out the front, which is my usual, and we got a park, not directly right out the front, but there was like a little laneway and then it was the first park after that. Now when we parked, there was a like a bar that was open and there was all these people drinking out on the street. And I got out of the car and I asked Angela if I could put my bag in her boot because it had $2,000 in it. She goes, "Yeah, yeah." And she opens the boot. And I put my handbag in the boot with this $2,000 that I'd taken out because I had to pay bond or rent the next day. You've got to remember, we're still going back 2.5 decades or 2 decades here when sort of like, transferring funds into accounts wasn't as a big deal that it is now. And so I put my bag in her boot of her new Mercedes. And we walk off and go to this cafe for dinner. I'm about 10, 15 minutes into her conversation, into our conversation and whatever, and ordering dinner, etc. And I just say to her, I closed the door, didn't I? I closed the passenger door, didn't I? And she goes, "Yeah, of course you did. Don't be silly, Elle." And so we continue eating till eventually about 10 o'clock they go, "We'd really like to go home. We're the only two people in the restaurant." We're sure, paid them and left. And when we went out to Angela's car, the passenger's side door was wide open. All the people that had been at the bar were gone. You could understand this is in Bridge Street, Melbourne, which is a bit of a seedy, druggy kind of area. Might not be now, but it was back then. And I had left the driver's side door of her Mercedes wide open and my $2,000 sitting in the back of her car. And I'm just dumbfounded because there was just all these drunk people that had been on the footpath before that. I went, "Oh my God, what happened? How did that happen? How did they just not even steal a car, let alone steal my, her like Mercedes Benz, which was worth far more than my $2,000 I'd shoved in a boot." And then I just heard them say, "The twin angels came and sat in the car until you returned." So I have to tell you that I've felt these angels, but I have never seen them. And there's been a couple of other times that they've showed up that I've needed them, and it'll make this video way too long if I continue to tell you all the stories that happened. But the essence of this is to tell you that you're always divinely protected. But you have to ask for that help. We have what's known as free will. It is a free will universe on earth. And so if you ask whether you want to call it God, your angels, your higher guidance, your higher self, it doesn't really matter. But if you want help with your life, just ask for it. Ask your higher self to come help you. Ask your angels to come help you. Ask God, this is one of my favorites. God, can you put lots and lots of gold light around my car and get me to wherever I'm going safely and home again? Thank you, thank you, thank you. Do more than just order up a parking spot. Like I don't just order up a parking spot. I order up, a parking spot right outside where I'm going. I ask that it always happens. I ask God to block my car from any speeding cameras or any parking inspectors. And somebody said, oh, she thinks she can control the universe to me once. And I went, well, ask me when there was the last time I got a speeding fine or a parking fine. Because, well, I don't know. I said, nor do I, because it's been decades, mate, So even supposedly spiritual people will question that. But your life is a reflection of your beliefs. If you believe that's not going to happen, it won't. If you believe that you're deeply taken care of, you will be. I don't have any insurance. I do. I have God's gold light insurance, which is, God, can you put lots and lots of gold light around my house and keep it safe till I return? God, can you put lots and lots of gold light around my car and keep me safe until I return? And it doesn't cost me a damn cent. Free will. You live in a free will universe. And it is you who gets to decide how magnificent your life will be. So, if you're ready to tap into that kind of magic, then you can look at the video below with the lovely Fibonacci sequence in it, in the picture. I might link it to this one. And if you don't have the funds to join us for our Limitless Being 1-year mentorship program, you just need to go back. I'm going to try and get around to putting it in my playlist, but just go back a year or two and you'll find a 28 Days to Bliss program. Go back to last year or the December before last, not last December, December before that, and we did 100 miracles in 100 days. Just listen to something with my magnificent voice that's encoded in all of these higher frequencies to help uplift you. And I've had people that were on food stamps and they have listened to these. Not many people get to about day 6 and they quit, which is just dumb, because they don't feel the big buzz they felt when they first start listening to me. But the reason you're not feeling that buzz is because your energy is now matching the incoming energy. And if you would just stay put, just stay with it for 28 to 44 days and look at the miracles that show up in your life. I had a woman last year, maybe the year before that, who was on food stamps. She listened for about 10 days and then stopped. And then was whinging a month later going, oh, my life's a mess again. I went, well, what happened? You were doing so, oh, I quit doing it. I went, commit to doing it for 28 to 44 days and see what shows up. By day 10 or 11, because she'd already done 10 days earlier, she manifested $3,200 a month for the rest of her life. I had another lady who I had done a Mount Shasta and Heart and Base Chakra activation back in 2013, this was. Kylie was her name. And, not Kylie, sorry. No, it'll come back in. I don't think it's Kylie. I have a testimonial somewhere. Anyway, I did this free thing, and I promised people if they listen for 28 to 44 days and just see what shows up. She was homeless, living in a car with her daughter because she'd ran away from a domestic violence situation in America. And at day 8, she'd fallen asleep listening to it. And her window was just down about an inch. Doors were locked. And when she woke up, someone had put all this money through the window. There was all this money on her chest. At day 15, someone gave her and her daughter a couch to sleep on. And at day 17, she had a job. That's the kind of magic and miracle that shows up when you work with me. There's 100 of those miracles somewhere back there. They've got a big golden heart on it. Go check that out if you've got no money and see what shows up in your life. Your outside life is a reflection of your inside life. And if you are seriously, seriously ready to change your life, then please contact us through my website, www.elmaraseraphim.com. And we truly, truly look forward to speaking with you and being with you again sometime soon. Alrighty. Love, love, love. My deepest love and richest blessings to you all. And bye for now.